several people in YouTube, several people in Zoom. If you're not seeing each other, it's okay. There are questions going to be in YouTube, questions going to be in Zoom. I'm going to try to pull them all together and talk to everybody at once here. So, and if you need the replay, make sure you pop over to YouTube. It's jeffreytrader.com/YouTube right here on my face. If I can get the link to pop up. And that is the best place to watch this. If you have to step away, you miss part of it, you want to rewatch part of it later, jeffreytrader.com/YouTube. Go like, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do. Subscribe. You'll get notices when I go live. Like it, helps me out. If you thumbs up the video, it just helps promote the video and get me out to more people so I can help more people with this stuff. Anyway, it is 5 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. Let's get started, shall we? So we got 3 big topics for today. What's up with the markets, right? What direction are we going next? We had a couple down days, and it's feeling like we're not so sure, right? So we'll talk about it. Then, as always, we do number 2, your favorite stock picks. Well, I take requests for a good long time. And then number 3, I give you an opportunity to trade my best performing strategy right now. Nancy knows what I'm talking about because she's right in there. All right, so let's pop out of this slideshow and look at some charts, shall we? So let's get out of here and pop over to, well, here's ES, but let's talk about S&P first. See, this was back a couple weeks ago, and roughly July 18th. I had this 3 up here, little note, and that was kind of my target. I expected it to go up. Now, today, here's the chart. We have made it up to that area where the 3 was right here. This is just Elliott wave analysis. If you're not familiar, don't worry about it. I do this every week. I give you the update. I give you the projections. So right now, we kind of hit this confluence of resistance levels right in here. We found some resistance. Right? Even today, we're hitting right up in here and pulling back into the close. Well, this is where I expect us to go next, down in this area. Now, it could take the rest of the week. It could be there tomorrow, but I kind of expect us to pull back into this 4,000 level on S&P 500. You see the purple line over here, 39.97, and roughly the 4,000 level. That's where this is right here. The red right there, 44,423. I think we're going to pull back on the way down here. Now, like I said, it could happen tomorrow, could last the rest of the week, could last into next week. I don't know the speed, and it can fall short. We can top out 40, 50 or so, get like a 382 or even a 23.6 retrace. Those are Fibonacci levels. If we get that kind of retrace and it holds, then we could be on the way up to this 42.26 area, or as high as 43.60. So this would be my primary expectation right here, this 42.26 area, but we could extend all the way up in here around 43.27, 43.60, somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, that's just the path laid out based on Fibonacci and kind of the bouncing of the levels. One of the other people I call says that it's Fibonacci pinball. It kind of bounces like a pinball up in here. When we do top out in this area, we're likely to get yet another pullback to this 4,000 level. That will be a key point right there when we do that. If we pull back to 4,000 and hold it, it's bullish. If we pull back and break right on through 4,000 to keep going down, that's going to potentially put us in the situation where we could see a lower low. Now, I have this red A right here. There's a red B hanging out just off the chart. You can't see it. And it takes us down to a red C with a potential to drop to the 3,000 to 3,200 area if we're going to do something like that. Now, I can talk about it on the S&P chart here. As always, freaking thing crashed out. I love it. So, all right. Man. Dadgummit. One second. Got one of my screens blacked out on me. Hold on 1 second. Probably not sharing what I need to be sharing. All right. 1 second. Let me get the screen back up here. Reshare something. Stop share. Flip this over where it needs to be. Try to reshare. All right, Zoom, where'd you go? All right. Should be seeing my chart again. Now, I've kind of got this expectation right here that we pull back. And we're coming right up into the roadmap line on the daily. Get a little resistance. We should poke up through it. This 4,200 level. Pull back again. We'll poke up like this. If we're going to do bullish, it'll kind of be like this. Work up, pull down, work up, pull down, work up. Now, if we break right here, and let me reset a few Fibonacci things and show you the potential here. So we had the high back here in January. Run the fib down to the lowest low. So that puts this resistance right here, the 618 resistance. You can zoom it up. 43.27 area. All right. So if we bounce off of that, if we get right up into that zone, right up in here, and if we bounce off of that and come right down through the 4,000, that can give us an extension lower. Where would that be? Well, using the fib extension tool, the A move down, the B wave retrace, and the C move down takes us all the way down here, 32.71 as a minimum expectation, and this 30.30 as the extension. So this would be the target area right in there. Up. And the expectation would be that this would take probably out to January or February timeframe. Maybe even March. So we got a little bit of upside left. The potential, we need to hold that 4,000 when we retrace. We're probably going to retrace. We need to hold that. It's going to retrace immediately this week or next. And then we'll move up to this 4,300 area at least. Probably get another retrace from there. Got to hold the 4,000 level on that retrace to continue bullish. Otherwise, we could see a bigger downtrend to a lower low. I don't usually get super cautious on this stuff, but right now, this potential is has grown in the last 2 weeks, and this is kind of hanging out there. So I want to make sure that everybody's aware that this potential is on the chart right now. All right, everybody clear? Any questions before I move on? Just want everybody to be clear that this potential is sitting out there right now. Now, what I would say is that they might call the there is resistance in calling this a recession right now. What we've had, it's hard to argue economically that is not really the case, but our wonderful people in charge have decided not to call it a recession yet. So we're kind of pulling up out of it. Now, the big dirty secret is that quantitative tightening that was allegedly part of the problem here, and we did raise rates, but the quantitative tightening that kicked off and caused some of this big drop, well, the real numbers are they haven't been tightening anything. So that's kind of a bad. Like if they actually do start tightening things, we could see this next leg down. Now about 70 trillion in worldwide equity was just evaporated in this drop here. So we could see the same kind of drop coming down in this next move. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware that we could see some kind of bad, Armand, that does kind of jive with my time frame here. Somewhere in September, we could be topping out and we could see this move down into the first quarter next year. So I just want everybody to be aware that this could happen. Of course, keep coming back to these Tuesday webinars, and I'm going to keep you updated. I mean, we update this chart every week, go through what's going on. So twists and turns. Yeah. Well, this next one could last another 6 months or so. The first one took about 6 months to get to the bottom. The next leg down, if it develops, could take another 6 months or so. So just want everyone to be aware, be cautious. Coming up this week, though, here we are on Tuesday, earnings. This is kind of the earnings season, big earnings. So we've got AMD, PayPal, OXY, SoFi, Airbnb, Starbucks, LiveNT, Gilead, Pioneer, Conterra, and then coming up the rest of the week, other big names, Under Armour, not so big, but it is clothing. Got Generac, Yum Brands, lots of food stuff kind of coming up here. Kellogg's, got AMC, do the meme stocks keep going or not? Find out with AMC there. DraftKings coming up at the end of the week. Western Digital, Ocugen, Goodyear, Cinemark. So this is kind of an interesting week. We're kind of moving on past big tech and just getting into the main, the main big chunk of earnings here. So remember, these things can all move the markets, can sway the feeling of the day before you even get your feet on the ground. So just be aware. Now, popping back over the charts, as we've talked about, NASDAQ has been feeling a little corrective on this move up off the lows in June. That could also signal that we see the bigger downtrend. Russell right here, outperforming a little bit at the close, still green, one of the only ones, and just a little bit shy of that roadmap line. Oil, still feeling like we may see that ultimate low down here on 75 to 83. Just kind of been chugging sideways. Of course, that looks a little bit like a 1, 2, 3, this being a 4, and we could see that fifth wave push down into the 80s to cap off this 5-wave move down for the C wave down here. So watch for energy and energy sector. Once this thing bottoms, we're probably going to rip to a new high. So gold getting a nice bounce here, but I'm not convinced that we don't see one more final lower low. And we did get to the target area with this arrow, and we could see an extension down this final target area. 1620 is what I've been saying for almost a year. So we could see that final push. Just keep an eye on gold. Of course, if it really solidly breaks back out of this move here, need that line tool. So if we really start breaking out of this downtrend line of lower highs here, if we break out of that, it can flip around and actually get into an uptrend that I can look for higher prices. So Bitcoin still kind of chugging along here. It's established a pretty good channel at this point. We could see a return to the low of the channel. Got the high, touching highs, touching lows, touching highs. Need to touch a low. And right now, just maintaining the channel is what I expect. So it hadn't broken out of that channel and gone lower yet. That does exist out here. If we do test the bottom of the channel and break it, we could get that lower low down here around 16,000. So just keep an eye. I would love to see it break back higher, get back above the 144 / roadmap line. That's 144 EMA on the daily chart. I would love to see that. But right now, we're just kind of in the bottom of this big drop zone right here. And we'll have a resistance zone up here around 30,000 that we'll have to contend with if we can ever make the way back up there. All right. It is now everybody's favorite time for your requests. So yeah, make sure you hit the like button if you like the information I've been going over too. Like, definitely hit the like button in not in Zoom, but in YouTube. So the replays are available on YouTube, jeffreytrader.com/YouTube, just right there on the bar below my face. All right. Like and subscribe. Square, first one up. All right. Apple. after that. So Square getting a little bit of retrace here. Now, the low target I had before was right here, and we dipped down to the next fib down. We've got this box right here where we consolidated, and we're just now touching into it. Now, if we get a bigger pull down in the market, I could make a case for this going lower. Now, we could see a move on down. Right now, it's got some headwind to do to get out of this funk right here. While it is broken out of this immediate move down. Oh man, I love these ad pop-up thingers. So while we did break through this downtrend of lower highs, back tested it, we still got some headwinds to go to be above the roadmap line and above the 144 EMA and making progress higher. So, all right. ETH, yeah, I could pop up ETH real quick. Ethereum looking like it needs to come up to this roadmap line, this 144 EMA. Why the one? Okay, so if you're new, why the 144 EMA? Well, that's a Fibonacci based number, 144. I use the EMAs because it places more emphasis on current price action or more recent price action than it does on prior price action. And 144 because it's a Fibonacci number. And it just happens to be kind of about where the 200 moving average hangs out most of the time, not all the time. Now we find resistance at this 144 quite often. So it's an interesting, something different, something interesting, and it works for me and it fits with a lot of stuff I do. So we are coming up into this resistance or, what was support now turned resistance, kind of turned down right there a little bit. So Ethereum's got to work its way back up through this zone right there. It's got that roadmap line / 144 EMA coming in just above us. And it's going to be a tough slog to get back into this 2200 area where we can start making some progress up. And we have another consolidation, of course, right up here that we've got to contend with. So there's lots of headwinds on crypto. It did a lot of damaging, consolidation on the way down. It's going to create resistance zones all the way up to get back up. All right. I saw Apple, APL. Yeah, so right up to that 160 resistance that I was talking about. Get my line straight here. We're kind of consolidating right in that area. Looks like closed at or post market at 160.33, closed at 160.01. Now, we could retrace back to this 150 area very easily before we see the next move up. Now, speculating that we could see a bounce off of the roadmap line. We didn't get that. We actually went right on up to that line, to that 160 area where I was looking for. And we could see a retrace back down to the 150 area before we can actually gain the energy to break on up higher. So watch for that. That doesn't mean it won't just push out, but we have found 3 days of resistance right here at this 160 area, unable to push through, which suggests it may need a pullback, maybe a small pullback, maybe a bigger pullback. So just watch Apple. All right. Next up, Nvidia. I see several places. NVDA. So breaking above this trend line of lower highs. That's good. Got the resistance right up here. We're going to have to break through this level right around 200 to really start flipping the script on Nvidia. So that's the area to watch. We haven't got this dropout yet. So that's really positive, constructive for higher prices at this point. Now we are seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. So at some point we are going to see a retrace. So just be cautious. Don't be too aggressive on it. All right. LNG working its way, consolidating right up in here, looking for that move out to this 159 area right out here. Zoom it up just a little bit. So we're consolidating right up in there, looking for that last pop up into that 159. Now, it could extend on out to 170, but it definitely needs to get higher than these prior highs right here. And that one's partially kept in by NG. NG1 exclamation point. This pullback in natural gas is keeping that from going out right at the moment. So once this consolidation pullback here finishes up in natural gas, probably see higher prices. I am expecting prices up into this 15, 16 area in natural gas as we flow into the fall and winter time. So, all right, UNG also in the same vein. That's closer to the natural gas chart, looking for a move out to this 40 area after this consolidation finishes up here. All right. PayPal, PYPL. Still kind of looking for that lower move here on PayPal. It's got this resistance level. It's kind of established here at 95-ish. And it's going to have to break that. And then we've also got this consolidation up here around 120 to 130 that it'll have to break up through to really, really get, work back out of the funk it built up down here. So otherwise we could see a push down to this $60 area. So if we get that bigger downtrend in the market, watch out. All right. See, MCD. Tickers are flying faster than I can catch up with here. I'm so sorry. If I skip or miss your ticker, I'll do my best to try to hit as many as I can before we get to wrap this up today. So McDonald's here, bigger trend right there. And we're kind of operating in this zone right now. Can just kind of expect it to trend sideways until we can break out of that. It's had lots of stops and starts in this zone. So got the trend of higher lows going. And we are kind of breaking out of the trend of lower highs. But we're still in this box, and we got to break above 270 to really see some higher prices here. Before we break 270, I could feel like with this sideways for 6-7 months now, we could see another dip down. It's just not showing big strength here. Now it is faster, like it, while the market bottomed out here in June, McDonald's bottomed back here in March. So that is a positive sign that maybe McDonald's can outperform the market. All right, race just getting above the 144 EMA. We could see another pullback here. I'm not sure exactly where to put this. Looks like right about there. And resistance. So you see how last time we arced above for a couple days and then right back down and then dropped out. So it's if you're looking to get long here, you need this to hold here. If this thing arcs back off and comes back down below that 144 EMA right there, it's probably going to make a lower low again. Now, if it can find support and move back on up through and beat some of this prior consolidation area right up in here, that can lead to higher prices. All right. EMZN. Yeah, had some good news and finally popped there. Last week we were talking about it in the face of earnings, what we might see. Had some positive earnings, and now it's just kind of consolidating right there in the roadmap line. And it does have that gap down that it was contending with from right over here. That's kind of boxing it in right now. It's going to have to beat this 140 level and get above there to make continued higher prices. Otherwise, we may see this gap fill yet again. This may backfill this gap right here. So be cautious. All right. Let's see. BITO. That's just going to be tracking with Bitcoin. I don't know what the ad situation is going on here. So we're finding some resistance here. This gap zone is just resistance on BITO until we can get up in there and really start, you know, making some positive action. It's just going to sit right on the bottom of that box. So we're finding some resistance here. This gap zone is just resistance on BITO until we can get up in there and really start, you know, making some positive action. It's just going to sit right on the bottom of that box. So I am long BITO out to 2024 with $10 calls. So that is in the money. I don't usually buy in the money calls, but for this one and the leap, I did buy in the money leap calls out to 2024. And why 2024? Because that's when the halving is. Mine don't cover the halving, but it's going to get me close. All right. See a long list. TSLA. Yeah, so we're coming up right into this 618 resistance here. It looks like that candle right there. Yeah, just a little bit shy of it right there. There's a whole lot going on in there here. We broke out of that little triangle wedge. Finding some resistance right there. We need to break back above that 950, say 960. Need to get above 960 to keep seeing higher prices. Otherwise, we risk seeing a retrace back into the 800 area. Right back down here where the roadmap line is. So, all right. I know it's a busy chart for Tesla, but we talk about it pretty often. All right. IBTC. That's a downtrend. Not a lot of great going on there. Significantly below the roadmap line, not a long history. And, this is what we're working with here. That kind of extends on out to like that kind of downtrend. All right, CNQ. That one's working on trying to get up through the roadmap line. Potential. Yeah, we're gonna have to let me erase that one and put a new one on. A little bit cleaned up fib line. There we go. Yeah, so most aggressive, you want to see it get above here. Then you have the 618 to contend with right in there. So really, I wouldn't be looking for long until above about 60, 50 or so. And then we can see a move out to like 79 on the upside. Otherwise, if we find resistance, we could make a lower low. SMH. Yeah, so right up to the roadmap line, finding resistance there. It's got to get above to make higher prices. That's going to be a resistance also right there, prior high. All right, AMD also, I know that somebody asking for that. Looking, it's trying to break the roadmap line today. That's positive. It's pushing up through the downtrend of lower highs. So a lot of these things are starting to show a little bit of potential promise. So it makes this potential pullback a little bit dangerous in the market here. So I want everybody to be careful. Don't get overly excited and overly long yet. Please. Please, please, please. All right. CROX. I see in YouTube. They're coming right up to the roadmap line. Seeing this a lot. This can be a resistance. A lot of these charts. Just watch out. We need to get above this, make some positive action, come back, retest it from the top, and get some continuation. That's my favorite trade is a trend pullback continuation. So looking for this to establish a new trend that's positive, pull back, and get some continuation. That's my favorite play. So DVN. Now right here, coming up into some resistance. Like I said, we need the new fib line right there. And it looks like a resistance point just below the 618. Got to get above there to see higher prices. Potential upside 90 and 107. All right. See FCEL. That one, not great looking. That's just consolidating at the bottom. Yeah, it's gonna have to be above 515 or 520 to get any kind of real uptrend excitement started here. So we need this to really get moving up here. Otherwise, primary expectation, probably just more of this, more sideways in this orange box. All right. UNM. Yeah, so watch for a bounce right here would be what I would say. We hit the roadmap line once, twice, 3 times, actually 4 times. So we need a move like this. Back above that little high that's right there. And that would be a signal to look for 39 to 42 on the upside. Tomorrow, working on getting up here. You know, we did a 1, 2, 3, 4, working on the 5, probably get some resistance here, pull back to this area one more time before we can break through. Got it? Leave it up for a second. All right. Moving on. TLC. Yeah, getting a little bit of bounce on TLT. Ultimately, looking for it to go lower. Might hit the roadmap line on this push higher. Got a little bit left to go before we meet up with the roadmap line. But I think that we'll likely see lower prices on TLT. This has been my target area. We came up just a touch shy on the last push down, which may mean we see an extension. Let me see if I can draw the extension on here. Yeah, if we pull it all the way up there, yeah, looks like this will be the primary expectation right down in here. All right, I did race. If I missed anything, let me know. I tried to hit everything. I see Google I missed and Lily. GOOG. Yeah, that one's just consolidating sideways. And this band right here. Got to get out of that funk to get moving up. Now we've kind of made a high 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on the 5th time here. So something good needs to happen for YouTube. Maybe they need to quit canceling my video. All right. Let's see. I see BE. Yeah. Hit that in YouTube. BE. Yeah. So that one's actually looking a little positive. Like I said, getting above the roadmap line there. We do have this resistance zone right here. We're coming up a little bit shy of that. What I want to see is this to move right on up through here and keep on going. Ad free. They keep popping up that. So that's what we want to see right now. This to move from 21 up to about 26. Confirm above this prior high. And then we can see some positive price action. And this did a very nice retrace from this high to this low. Yeah. So 618 coming in right there in the middle of that box. Getting above there. Could set this up to go to 50 or even 74. Nice potential on that one. I kind of like that one. Be cautious. Earnings coming up right out here, August 9th. All right. Let's see. LLY. Yeah. So consolidating. It looks like it did the extension. And my primary expectation would be another retrace down, something like this. Roadmap line coming up like this. And then we get a bounce. That's trend, pullback, continuation. Beautiful. This one's been on the roadmap watch list several weeks lately. So right now it looks like we're going to see another pullback before we see some more continuation. All right. NIO. All right. There's what I expect for NIO right there. It broke the up channel. Probably going to get a deeper retrace before we can bounce. All right. I see FTV I missed. Looks like. Yeah, it's breaking above the, breaking out through this downtrend right here. Breaking out through that, breaking above the roadmap line. We need to see a little more continuation. So we've got this, we moved right up through there, right above these highs. That's really nice. Now, it is getting a little, it found a little resistance in this consolidation area. Like I said, we need to see a little higher price there, and then we could get some continuation higher. Alrighty. Looks like I hit most of those. FCX. Now it's just, looks like it's in a downtrend going lower. That's nothing positive happening there right now. Ford, yeah, one of my favorite picks right here. This one, long-term trade. I was harping on this at $10, $11. A great buy opportunity. Now we're at 15, but I still have much higher prices in mind up here, like 130. So I'll probably do a video about that in the next few weeks. Talk about all the good stuff potentially happening there. All right, coin can't get out of its own way. Looks like it could extend lower. Be very cautious on coin. IPOs start out with a corrective form, and like high percentage of them start out in a correction and make a lower low after their IPO. So that's just an IPO pattern. I've warned about that since it IPO'd. For those that have been with me, just be cautious on coin. It has not broken out of its consolidation, not put in what I would consider a reliable bottom. Now, VZ also just a downtrend. I mean, it bounced right off the roadmap line and then right back down. I think I warned about that last time. I looked at it based on the line that I've got there. Went lower low. Still, I mean, it's got a lot of work to do to get out of this funk. So, and then CRM, Salesforce, just consolidating down here. It's got to get above that funk, this funk, to get some positive action going. All right, INTC, and we're gonna call it quits after this here. Yeah, that's just not great. And they do stand to benefit from the infrastructure junk, the microprocessor, whatever bill that the House and Senate working on, but right now that's not looking great. Technical perspective, we've got this years ago price action that we're finding support at. We get below that, and it can go down to some of these lows from back there in 2017. All right. So that was a whole lot of stuff, right? That was 40 minutes of awesome instead of just 30. Now, currently, the markets are yo-yo, back and forth, up and down, day after day, right? The market has been stuck in this tight channel since, well, May. I mean, we dipped down, made a lower low in June, but we've just kind of been in the same range. We haven't broken out higher. We haven't really broken down, gone much lower. And there's no clear breakthrough in sight. I mean, we're looking like we're pulling back again, right? I mean, that's what we've seen the last 2 days. And when you can't predict the market's next move, directional strategies quickly become quite useless. I mean, it's tough, really, really tough. So you need to get out of the day-to-day chaos with a strategy that takes each day on its own, each day as it comes, and resets every day. So day trading can be a powerful antidote to chaotic bearish markets. Now you may be saying, well, you know, I gotta have more than 25,000. That's not true. You can designate a cash account, open another account that's a cash account, and do your day trading as long as you don't exceed your capital in that account. So when you're in and out virtually a few hours in a single day, you don't have to worry about the direction of the broader market or what happens overnight. You don't even have to worry about it. But most day trading strategies require quite a bit of work, a lot of focus, watch lists, ton of research, all sorts of stuff, and just a lot of attention, really. You got to scan for stocks. You got to find the right trade setup, monitor them constantly, plan precise exits. But if you've been paying attention lately, you know that I've discovered a way to trade just one ticker right at the opening bell. I'm not worried about the market. I don't have to scan for a ton of stocks. I don't have to guess about entries and exits like most day traders do. Since I started tracking my results at the start of the year, I've seen some pretty absurd results. I mean, we've had 83 trades, 57 wins, 26 losses. That's a total win rate of 68.87%, just under 69%, with an average trade return of about 27.95%, just under 28%. Average time in the trade is currently at 59 minutes, so less than an hour in and out. A total cumulative return of 2,347.89%. That's just trading one contract. That's the stats for one contract right there. All by trading this one ticker symbol, typically once a day, right at the opening bell, and usually finishing the trade within the first hour of the day, of the trading day. In fact, just yesterday, I closed a massive 226.92% winner in just 66 minutes. In and out, entry 8-1, 9:51 a.m., out by 10:57 a.m. There's the gain right there. So I'm proud to say that Opening Bell Alerts members have traded with me and outperformed me. Like Ed right here, in and out 3 times. Cammy, 258% right there. Frank, 130%. Beth, 130%. Alan, 151%. All they had to do was follow the exact trade setup I posted in the trading room, sharing, I shared the trade right there at the opening bell. So Frank's in the chat right there. It works. They didn't have to try and decode this kind of massive headache, right? They just followed the opening bell alert strategy that alerts right at 9:30 a.m. And, many days were done before 10:30 even. So opening bell alerts comes with all these benefits. I got some extra reports, some training, masterclass. We do a live Q&A session, get a 30-day money back guarantee, daily walkthroughs of the trades, updates, any, 24/7 trade room where I answer questions if I'm awake. And if anybody else is there, they'll answer your question. I do sleep a few hours a day. My new handy dandy smartwatch tells me I need to sleep more a day. And if you're tired of riding the yo-yo market, just come join me. All my other wonderful traders, we're going to help you out and hopefully get you going as soon as tomorrow's opening bell. And Nancy was talking to me in the chat before we started about how paper trading makes learning this so great. So I do suggest everybody start out with paper trading. And we have a $200 discounted spots that are still available. So the choice is all yours. Go to jeffreytrader.com/OBA. I'll throw it up on my face too. Or give my team a call, 855-454-0816. Place your order, claim that discount, $12.97, get you in. Questions? Otherwise, we're going to wrap this puppy up. So let me know. I thank everybody for coming. Yeah. Thank you. It's going to wrap up the 30 minutes awesome for today. Yeah, thanks, Elle. Thanks for coming. No problem, Armand. Penny, glad you came. Nancy, glad to have you. As always, we'll see you guys tomorrow in the trading rooms. Anybody on YouTube, let me know. Give you just a few minutes to catch up. Ask any questions. Yeah, Jennifer, have a great evening. See everybody tomorrow in the trade room. All righty. Well, thanks, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, Victor. Thanks everybody for coming.